Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Wayne Howe. I'm the Social Impact Program Manager for EMEA and LATAM. And today, what I'm going to go through is how to build out your professional online brand. So we're probably going to do a presentation for about 30 minutes or so. And then what we will do then is open it up for any questions or any queries that you may have through the presentation. So just the agenda for today. So why LinkedIn? Your profile and your story, then your own LinkedIn professional brand, and then just kind of a bit of insight really around LinkedIn Learning and one of kind of the tools that we use on LinkedIn. So just to give you kind of some insight around LinkedIn. So our vision is really to create economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. And how would we do that? So with LinkedIn, we have 740 million members on the platform globally. We have 50 million companies that are on our platform as well. And at any given stage, we have over 1 million active jobs per week on the platform. I've mentioned around LinkedIn Learning briefly at the start, and just to kind of give you more insight around LinkedIn Learning, we have over 30,000 different skill-related learning courses that are available to upskill, to utilize in relation to your current job, current industry, or looking at a different industry where you want to learn these skills. Something that's become extremely popular over the last couple of years is schools or universities that are actually joining LinkedIn as well. And the reason for that is they're coming in from the end of their college studies into the work experience part of their journey. And I think with the schools, what we actually do is we create groups where they're able to interact with each other, ask different questions and share learnings that they have seen or are aware of that they can share with others that are actually on the platform. So the basics of LinkedIn is really around your profile and your story. So when you're on LinkedIn, what we focus on is very much around building your own professional brand online. And in order to do that, there's some tips and hints that we provide. So the first one is to add a photo. So members with a profile photo get up to 9 times more connection requests, 21 more times profile views, and 36 times more messages. So just a couple of cadence around how to upload a photo. So the photo should be you alone in that photo. You should fill your face mostly in the photo, non-distracting backgrounds, and you don't need to have a fancy photographer needed. What we've seen over the years on LinkedIn is that people have put a group photo of themselves and their friends, or they have a distracting background, or they have a beer in their hand. So really making sure that you don't do that. Again, this is your professional brand, so it's who you represent professionally. So you want to make sure you have a professional photo that represents that. So step 2, in relation to adding your industry. So members with industry information receive up to 9 times more profile views. And in relation to our kind of global hiring managers and recruitment that use the platform, over 300,000 of them on a weekly basis search by industry. What we advise people here to do is put in the industry that's most recent to your work experience, or alternatively, what you can do is put in the industry that you're looking to move into. As I mentioned earlier on, we have over 300,000 hiring managers and recruiters that would input industry as their first choice, where they can put in computer software, and then it will bring up a list of individuals that are currently looking for opportunities in the computer software industry. Something that's really important is drafting a compelling about section. So it's your elevator pitch, and it's really making sure that this is encompassed as your cover letter. So focus on your career accomplishments and aspirations. And what we'd advise is have 40+ words or so in that. The way we would normally break it down, and it is individual to everybody, is to have two paragraphs, one that represents your overall work experience to date, and the second paragraph very much on your personal skills. And this gives hiring managers and recruiters a really good flavor of who you are within your professional environment, but also who you are as a person. So step 4, detail your work experience, and members with up to date positions receive up to 5 times more connection requests, 8 times more profile views, and 10 times more messages. So make sure that you list all your relevant experience, key points that you feel are important for a recruiter or a hiring manager to see, and any facts and figures that you feel are relevant. Again, through LinkedIn, what we would advise people to do is to make sure that you have 8 to 10 as a maximum of main responsibilities on each job. Don't put too much information. You want to leave something that you can discuss with the recruiters or through the interview process. So make sure you put in the main elements of your responsibilities within each job. Something that's become extremely popular over the past few years is adding examples of your work. So upload photos, presentations, and videos. It just gives a visual and appealing representation of your professional story. And this could be where you've worked on a project within your team. It's where you have won an award internally within a job that you've done. But it just really gives an example of who you are and what your passions are. Step 6, so add some education and accomplishments. So when people think of LinkedIn, a question that I get asked quite a lot is, this is not for me, or why would I join LinkedIn? It's only people that would have college degrees that actually join LinkedIn. That's not necessarily true. It's very inclusive in relation to the amount of jobs that we have and the diverse category of jobs and industries that we have on the platform. A college degree is only one way of showcasing your talent. If you haven't gone to college, work experience is extremely important. Making sure that you put in courses or projects or any honors or awards that you've had within different jobs. Another element of that as well, and I'll go through this later on, is LinkedIn Learning and its courses. So there is so many different learning courses online. Once you've completed one of those, you get automatically certified as well, and that can be listed on your LinkedIn profile. Something that has, again, become extremely popular and very relevant in today's society is voluntary experience. So 41% of hiring managers consider volunteer experience equally as valuable and important as paid work experience. I think what we started to see, in particular with COVID, where people have been out of work, is that they have started to volunteer within their local community. They've started to work with local nonprofits. Anything that you've done that you feel is relevant, where you're learning a new skill or you're helping support others, is absolutely relevant to add on to your LinkedIn profile. Another kind of element that we have on LinkedIn is adding skills and getting endorsed. So members who add 5 or more skills receive up to 17 more profile views. So what you can do here is you can add in manually skills that you feel are your top skills. What we would suggest is to make sure that you keep it to 5 to 10. Don't put in 15 or 20 skills, because it dilutes the main skills that you have, and you want to make sure that you're showcasing the main skills that you can bring and transfer into a different job. That being said, we do have a test that you could take on LinkedIn, so assessing your skills, and there's 15 multiple choice questions, and once you answer those questions, it will actually give you the top skills that most suit the answers that you've provided. It will then give you the option that you can add it to your profile, and it's valid on your profile for 12 months. Something that's super important is requesting a recommendation. And these are very much like character references. So, when you go for an interview and you get to the final stage of an interview, you're normally asked for 2 character references. With LinkedIn, what you can do is you can actually request recommendations of different people that you've worked with in different jobs. For myself personally, I've made sure to have a recommendation from each job that I've been in. And this would really focus on managers that I've worked for before, peers that I've worked for before, or people that I've worked directly with myself on a project or cross collaboration within a different team. So it's really important to make sure that you're adding these to your profile. it gives the hiring managers and recruiters a really good sense of who you are professionally and personally. And it also cuts out the fact that you have to get those character references because they're actually on your LinkedIn profile. I suppose the step 10 is open to job opportunities. So for many years, we've had this where you can explain to recruiters or have it visible to recruiters that you are actually open for opportunities. So you can see there on the left-hand side in the purple text box, show recruiters and others that you're open to job opportunities. So you may not necessarily want to show this on a public scale, but you may want to keep this private. So you can click into that box and it will give you the option to share that you're open to opportunities with recruiters and hiring managers at different companies. But something that's become extremely popular in the last probably 18 months is our open to work tab. So you can see that on the picture. It's very prominent and very visible to your profile. It has also made a huge difference to a lot of job seekers that have joined LinkedIn or are on LinkedIn for a period of time and looking for employment. What we've actually established through this is that people that have this tab on their profile they have more opportunities where they're getting contacted more from recruiters and hiring managers, and ultimately they're actually securing employment. LinkedIn is very much around networking. It's very much around your professional brand. And it's really important that when you do join LinkedIn, or if you are on LinkedIn, that you're networking with the right people. So the first thing we always mention is to personalize your invite so people remember who you are. For myself personally, I get a lot of requests from people on LinkedIn, but there's no message. So I don't know who they are. I don't know the reason why we're connecting. So it's really important that if you are connecting with somebody, that you personalize your message as to why you're connecting with them, and really making sure that you're connecting with the right people. If you're setting up your profile as a new user, start with some of your friends and family that are on LinkedIn and some classmates, and I suppose previous employers that you've worked with, such as managers or colleagues that you've worked with in different companies. What we tend to say as well, that if you do send a request to connect with somebody, if you don't personalize that message, a lot of the time people on LinkedIn won't connect with you. So just make sure that you do personalize the message and take that 1 minute to do that. The other element of LinkedIn is really around the job section. So up the top, just nearer to the right-hand side, you can see that there's a jobs tab. So when you click on the jobs tab, it will bring you to this page, and you can see it's search for jobs, search for location. It will also show you your history of your job searches that you've done previously. And through the information that you've added to your LinkedIn profile, there's an algorithm in the back of the LinkedIn platform that will then search for jobs that are very similar to your skills and experience that you have. And it will show you the jobs where you're a top applicant. In order to look at the criteria and make it more specific to yourself, there's also an in it to section where you can customize the jobs that we bring to you. So when you click on that, you'll see find job opportunities and provide services. So the one that you're going to click on would be find job opportunities. And it will give you a breakdown of some criteria. So in relation to job titles, what type of job titles are you looking for? The job locations, so where are you located, and also the job types. Again, on this section, you can make sure that this is only reflective to recruiters, that recruiters see this information, or you could be more public to people such as hiring managers as well. When you do search for a job, what you will start to see is the drop down of jobs that are in a specific country. So again, you can see jobs in Ireland, 44,388 results. So again, there's some criteria up the top or some drop downs that you can look at to make sure that it's more suitable to what you're looking for, such as the date posted. LinkedIn features the company that you're looking at, and the experience level as well. So on the right hand side, you can see the all filters button. And this will show you how to break it down to make sure that you're getting jobs that are more suitable to your needs and your wants. When you do see a job that you are interested in, there's a few things just to take into consideration. It's really to make sure that you're looking at the finer details on that job spec. So where is it actually located? When was it posted? And have you any mutual connections on your LinkedIn profile that are connected to this job or company? And the reason why we talk about that is it's very important to network these days. It's very important to understand the company and the job that you're applying for. So connect with somebody from that company if you are a mutual connection, to see if they can give you more information about the job, the company culture, and in relation to the amount of people that potentially are, hiring, in relation to hiring managers, but also have applied for particular jobs within that company. Something that we've added as well is the easy apply button on LinkedIn. So when we've all applied for jobs over the years, and when we've applied for a job, sometimes it will take you into their company page, and you may have to fill out 2 or 3 pages of admin information. Even at that, you have to upload a CV, and then potentially you'd have to upload your LinkedIn profile as well. On LinkedIn, what we've done is we've made this very easy for everybody. So when you do see the easy apply button, all you do is click on that button and it will transfer across your LinkedIn profile and all your details for you to apply for that job. So you don't need to fill in any admin work at all. A big advantage of LinkedIn as well, I mentioned this earlier on, we have 50 million companies on the platform globally. So researching companies, when you get to a stage of you are or have applied for a job and you're researching the company, LinkedIn has all of this information available for you to review. So you can type in the name of the company and then it will bring up the company page. You'll be able to see where they're headquartered, the amount of connections that work there that are mutual connections of yours, the amount of employees that they have globally, and also some further information around the overview of who they are, what they do, the products that they actually sell, in relation to the jobs that they have available, not just within a specific locality, but globally, the life, so the culture, their mission, their values, what are they all about? Do they fit in with your culture, your values and your morals? It's really important these days that the company is a fit for you, as opposed to you being a fit for the company. And something else that's really important to do, that if you like a company, or if there's a certain person on LinkedIn that you like, make sure that you follow them as well. So up on the right hand side, there's the following tab. You just click on that and you'll be able to see posts and insight coming from that company on a daily basis through your LinkedIn feed. When you get to the interview stage, a new tool that we've added into LinkedIn is making sure that you are prepared for the interview, and also the LinkedIn salary. So what you'll start to see on LinkedIn, on some jobs, we've posted the salary band of what that job is worth. And that information comes from the company themselves, that where they would upload that information to give people an understanding of that salary band. A lot of the time, and over the years when we've applied for jobs, we don't know how much the salary band is within that job, but we've liked the job. But obviously it's really important to make sure that you're going to a job that you want to move into, that you're passionate, but also does it give you the financial or monetary value that you require for the day-to-day living. When you look at the more resources piece there for prepare for an interview, what we have done is we've listed out some common interview questions that you are normally asked in any type of interview. So I think there's over 26 questions that are asked there. In those questions, we've put in an option where you can actually record yourself answering those questions, and then you can play back your answers. So if you're somebody that doesn't like to do a lot of mock interviews with somebody else, you can do a mock interview with yourself. Once you've recorded that and you listen back, you can critique yourself then, and then again, obviously take that feedback on board and make yourself more confident going into the interview process. If you're like me, in relation to an interview, what I normally like to do is I like to write things down in relation to answers, and then that's the way it goes into my head. So if you're like myself, you can write down all your responses and review them that way, as opposed to reviewing them through a recording on video. We do have some additions on LinkedIn Learning as well. So how to approach interview questions, what type of answers you should be actually giving to interviewers when you're in that interview process. So again, if you're not somebody that wants to write things down, or you don't want to record them, you can actually listen to some of the LinkedIn Learning courses that can give you tips and hints on how to approach interviews moving forward. And then I suppose the last piece is really just around LinkedIn Learning. So I've mentioned earlier on, we've over 30,000 different types of courses available. We continue to add courses on a weekly basis of over 100 courses per week. A lot of the courses we have would relate to every single industry and every type of job that is currently available out there. We have thousands of project management courses, sales, customer service courses. And again, when you search in the search tab, look for project management, you will find thousands of those courses where there could be a different element of the course that you want to do. You don't need to complete all of them, but some of the courses range from 30 minutes up to 6 hours per course. With that being said, there might be just certain modules within that learning path that you want to complete. And when you do complete an overall course, as I mentioned earlier on, you are certified, and you get certified automatically, where that certification goes to your profile. And just as part of navigating through the LinkedIn Learning kind of toolkit we have, here's some of the options that we have in relation to kind of business and technology and then LinkedIn Learning courses. You can stop and pause these courses at any stage as well. So you don't need to complete these all at the same time. If you want to do a course and it's 6 hours long, you can do 30 minutes today, pause that course and go back to it then in a week's time.